Okay, so now we have this particular system and we want to eliminate a variable. So we can do a couple of different things here. Notice that we only have a 1x there. So the easiest thing to do was to multiply equation 1 by positive 4. If I do that, I'm going to get a 4x there. And that means that the 4 and the negative 4 will cancel. So if I just multiply everything here by 4, then I get 4x plus 20y equals 68. And I get negative 4x plus 3y equals 24. That's just rewriting that equation. And so these cancel. I get 23y equals 92. Divide both sides by 23. And I get y equals 4. So y equals 4 in that particular case. So far I have y is equal to 4. Okay, now I can use this first equation here, x plus 5y equals 17. So I have x plus 5y equals 17. We know that y is equal to 4. So I'm going to plug in the 4 right there. So I get x plus 5 times 4 equals 17, or x plus 20 equals 17. Subtract 20 from both sides, and I get x equals negative 3. So negative 3. So x equals negative 3. That would be my answer. Okay, let's go down and do the next one. So on the next one, we have 6x plus y equals negative 39. We have 3x plus 2y equals negative 15. Now there's a couple of different things that I can do. I can multiply this first one by negative 2 and then cancel out the y's. Or I can multiply the second equation by negative 2 and cancel out the x's. So it depends on which way that you prefer to do it. Now, if I'm dealing with a bigger number, I probably don't want to make it even bigger by multiplying it. So I'm going to do equation number 2 just because I think it's easier. But again, it does not mean that it's the only way to do it. So I'm going to multiply this one by negative 2. I put it over here. So that's multiplying it by negative 2. So the negative 2 distributes through. So I have I'm going to rewrite the first equation. So I have 6x plus y equals negative 39. On the second equation, I have negative 6x minus 4y equals positive 30 when I multiply all these out. And adding them together, those cancel. I get negative 3y there. I get negative 9 here. I then divide both sides by negative 3. So I get y equals positive 3 because I have 2 negatives there. Okay, those cancel, those cancel. Okay, so y equals 3. So y equals 3. On the other one now, which one would I want to use to solve? It might be easier to solve this one because I don't have to multiply y by anything. But this one has smaller numbers. So that one might be easier depending on which one you want to do. I'm going to do the second one just because I want to do something different. So I have 3x plus 2 times y, which is now 3, equals negative 15. I then get 3x plus 6 equals negative 15. I then do minus 6 and minus 6. I get 3x equals negative 21. And then dividing both sides by 3, I get x equals negative 7. So x equals negative 7, so my answer would be negative 7, positive, positive 3. Okay, last problem. So notice this one. Again, I can do two things. Now, I'm going to do this one the hard way, just so that I can show you that it would still work regardless of how we want to do this, but these numbers are going to be pretty large. So just kind of want to point out. Now, notice that I have a 3 and a 6. So the easiest thing to do would be to multiply equation 1 by negative 2, and I'm done. Okay, But notice that I have a 4 here and a 5 here. Let's say that I told you you had to eliminate the y first. Well, then I would multiply the first equation by 5 and the second equation by -4. Now, why would I do that? Because 5 times 4 is 20, and 5 times -4 is -20. That would cause these to cancel. So if I do that, again, this isn't necessarily the ideal best way, but it will work. So 15x, because 3 times 5, plus 20y equals, and 5 times 29, 5 times 30 is 150, and 29 is 1 less than, so 5 less than. So I have, oh my goodness, let's see, what did I say? 5 times 30 is 150, so it'd be 145. Okay, you could use a calculator to do that, but I just wanted to do that in my head. So 145. And then -4, so I have -24 because 4 times 6. I have -20y, and then I have 4 times 43. So 4 times 40 is 160. 4 times 3 is 12, so it'd be 172, and it would be negative because one number is negative and one number is positive. And now I would add them. So 15 plus 24 is -9x. These two cancel. And when I add these two up, I get 27, -27, because the larger number is negative. So I subtract the two numbers because one sign is positive and one sign is negative. And then I keep the sign of the larger number, which is negative. So I have -9x equals -27. I divide both sides by -9, and x equals 3. Okay, so x equals 3. Even though I made this more complicated, I'm going to get the same answer. So you could try it by multiplying the top one by -2 and seeing how that works. But now we want to pick an equation. I'm going to pick the first one because it's got a little bit smaller numbers. So I have 3x plus 4y equals 29. I'm going to plug in for x 3. So I have 3 times 3 plus 4y equals 29. That gives me 9 plus 4y equals 29. Subtract 9 from both sides. Those cancel. I get 4y equals 20. Divide both sides by 4. And y equals 5. So y equals 5 is my other number. So the answer would be 3, 5. And I'm done. So that's how we do these types of problems. I think I did 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, so I did 4 problems, and I think you have 11 assigned, maybe 12. So you have 7 or 8 problems that you have to do on your own. You do have one check that you have to get done, and that's the end of Module 7 and the end of Module 7, Section 4, or Lesson 4.